Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to the next episode. I'm Kasia and I'm your host. What we talk about here is everything spirituality. At least this is the idea now. We'll see how it evolves. The title of today's episode is Are Twin Flames Even Real? Just want to add one more information, so you can also watch me on YouTube. So if you prefer, you can decide if you prefer to watch and listen, or if you just prefer to listen, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you prefer. Going back to the twin flames. So why did I choose this subject? In my work with people as a spiritual healer, past life regressor, or even like a tarot cards, or even a chat. I've always attracted people who wanted to just have a chat with me and wanted to hear my opinion on things. And it was before I got my degree in psychology. So I think that was before that, which I think going the psychology way made people even more sure that I'm the person to talk to, and I love doing that. My friends talk to me a lot. It's quite funny when people often comes to you for an advice because you're so smart, but it's so much easier to tell other people what to do, and following your own advice, it's a completely different thing. I'm trying, and sometimes I hear to my wise words when I talk to someone. I'm like, this is a message also to me. So, back on the subject. In my work with people, I love is such a prevalent subject, question, pain. Of course, this is not the only thing that comes up, but heart, when I look at people as the energy field, blocked heart is like, I'm not sure, have I ever seen anyone with a not blocked heart? It doesn't have to be because of love. It could be anything, right? It can be trauma, it could be because I'm very sensitive and I'm protecting my heart, and I know this one very well. And it's like I've been working on it for many years, and it's layer after layer, and there is still some protections in place, because if you are super sensitive, you are just terrified of your heart being broken. So you might have issues with trusting other people, especially in romantic relationships, because we tend to open ourselves very deeply with the other person, and then we are very open to a lot of hurt. So love is something that I think humans just crave love. And yes, my clients are only women. I do have sometimes men that show up, but if they want, I work in person, in Poland, in Krakow, and remotely with everybody wherever you are. But if I have someone who wants to show up in person when I'm in Poland and I'm on my own in the flat, I just don't like to see men. Just don't feel safe. Maybe it's something I need to work on, or maybe I'm just smart. Who knows? However, that's my choice, that I work with men remotely. Or I would be fine if my husband was, somewhere nearby. But if I'm on my own, I just don't like it. So I'm telling you about experience with women. But I do not believe it's only women. And I don't think it makes any difference. How old are you? What's your gender? What's your sexuality, religion? Nothing. You can, anything, any category you can think of. It just doesn't matter. I think we humans crave love. We crave love for our parents, we then crave love from the partner. And many people are looking for a partner, and it's such a painful thing to just continue to look for love, and when it's not working, it's, I've been there. It's very, all this talking about you will find real true love once you are happy on your own. That never worked for me. I mean, I admire people that it works for, because it's a great thing. But I felt like there is this really missing piece of my heart. And there was this deep ingrained sadness in me until I found my husband, and against what everybody's saying, I wasn't feeling okay being on my own. And I did a lot of work. It's years of psychotherapy of unblocking my heart. That was important, and that I can say. If you have protective walls around your heart, it will be very difficult to find a available, honest partner. And not to mention, it's a difficult one. We sometimes think we are okay, but we're not, and we don't always have insight into our state. So there's sometimes more layers, and then something happens that shows you that actually there were more layers. I had that situation with one of my good friends. She asked me, can I do energetic healing for her as a friend? And she felt she was in a really good place. But I looked into her energy, and it was really, I could see her heart being outside of her body, like, heart, energetic heart. And I felt like she needs to fall apart before it starts getting better. She was very much like shocked by this information, because she thought she was in a really good place. And things that happened later around her family, like, crushed her. And then now when we talk, we're like, oh my God. She knows that she thought she was fine, but what happened afterwards, she's still going through it. I'm sending love to her. Not naming her, but I'm sending a lot of love to her. She's transforming now. And I believe this transformation was necessary, this falling apart. That's a very important thing sometimes. It happened also to me. It happens, it happens to a lot of people on the path to becoming your better self. We are built on, very often, very bad foundations. And these foundations these foundations are creating the life that you're living at the moment, if this is a negative life, right? And to get a better life, we often have to just fall apart. It's like a tarot tower. I seem to be talking a lot about tarot tower, but I feel, like I said in the last episode, there is a lot of tarot tower energy this year. And for people who don't know what's a tarot tower, what's the meaning behind it, it's an actual tower that's being hit by the lightning. You can even see people falling out of this tower, and this tower is being crushed to pieces. And this is exactly what it is. Often when it shows up in readings, it just means that some big event that will shake you up and will come out of nowhere will happen. It's a scary card. There are scarier cards like Ten of Swords, which typically means if the, let's say, tower can be like positive also. Ten of Swords typically mean that even though it means that afterwards it will get better, that means that just something very, very painful is going to happen first. The 10 of swords are literally 10 of swords falling into someone's back. So that's another one. That's no fun, but nowhere to go after that but up. So I think that's the positive. So yes, I think that we all crave love, and it's very painful not to have love. For women, if you want to have children, it also might be this added pressure of time. I mean, doesn't mean that men don't want to have they don't, not everybody wants to wait to be an older father, so doesn't mean that men don't have any pressure. There's a bit more pressure on women. So yeah, it's a very intensive subject. That's why I chose it. And because it's a spirituality I want to talk to you about, I want to talk about twin flames. So what are twin flames? For people who don't know, or if somebody already knows, then just a quick recall what that is. Twin flames are two souls with practically the same frequency. It's called the ultimate love. There are some definitions that say it's a one soul in two bodies. I never really believed that, or maybe I did once, but long time ago. I've already changed my mind, because I believe we are whole, always whole as a soul. But this other soul, so I believe you were created like that from the beginning. Some people again will believe that it happened over lifetimes. It's with the spirituality, right? We all have our intuitions, we all have our guidance. So we follow what we hear, what we feel, but we don't have scientific research to say who's 100% right. So I will give you my view on that. So yeah, and people in the spiritual community often crave to find this love, this ultimate twin flame love. So I was there many years ago, way before I met my husband. I was in that community. I would read about twin flames, everything. I would listen to some teachers who teach about twin flames, how to attract them. I was following meditations about twin flames. The funny thing, or maybe not funny, because there is no guarantee ever about staying together, no matter what your level of spiritual connectedness. Sorry, just bashed my ring on the table. I'm not sure if you heard that. Yes, so it's one of the teachers I was following. That was a couple that were twin flames, and they were doing meditations. They had really lovely meditations. I heard later that they broke up. I haven't caught up with them for so many years. I don't know what's going on with them. But yeah, it does show that grabbing this ultimate person doesn't really guarantee anything, because you still have to work to make this relationship work, right? There's still effort that you need to put in. So yeah, of course that was triggered. My search was triggered because I met someone that I thought, oh my gosh, that must be it, right? But this is the thing. This is why this podcast is called Are Twin Flames Even Real? Because when I think about it more from the retrospective, when I think about this as a psychologist, as just like an objective person, that was what I thought was this intensity, the must mean this is such a spiritual connection. It was toxicity. You know what feels like irresistible connection you cannot let go of? Toxic love. And you can then, this is where it comes, all the like theories about what you have to go through to be with a twin flame. I experienced this twice. Yeah, you can. How come you met? You thought you met twin flame twice. You know, potentially it could be like a shadow twin, pre-twin. There are all these other things that can happen. Someone you need to work through some very difficult lessons before you actually meet your final person. Yeah, but in reality, I was a very wounded girl. Very wounded girl. With everything that happened in my life, I blocked my heart so badly. Didn't have the greatest examples of communication, of love. So I was attracting the same level of toxicity, but mirrored in the masculine. So yeah, so this is where it's becoming very, very unhealthy. I have seen people, and I was, like I said, one of them, being incredibly miserable, looking for twin flames. Oh, this is the best one. Believing you already found your twin flame and they don't want to be with you. That I feel like it's a classic from what I've seen in the community. To be honest, I haven't visited this community for a very long time. I don't want to have anything in common with that. But I know what I was going through back then. So that's a classic. That's a classic example that someone is wasting their life, years of their life. You can't even imagine how many years people waste in full depression, yearning for this person who do not want to be with them, and then they do meditations to make it happen, or letting go. So the ultimate advice that is typically given is that you need to let this person go, and this is the only way for this push and pull modality to finish, because these relationships tend to be very often feminine, is pushing, chasing the masculine, and the masculine is running away, right? I'm just saying that example. It can be in any way, right? But this is what I've seen the most happening. And people, but letting go, how people understand letting go, I'm not sure they really understand what letting go means, because they don't. They're like, I moved on with my life, but I live with this hole in my heart because my beloved doesn't want to be with me. That's not healthy. Even worse, there's often people that already are in a relationship and you're hoping for that relationship to break up so you can be with this beloved one, and the surprising thing, this other person doesn't break up with their partner. They continue. And I'm not saying you're making up the love. There might be love, but is it a healthy love? No. Push and pull. Someone doesn't want to be with you, walk away. It's of course so much easier to say than put into practice. But that would be like, from the retrospective, looking back at it, I can tell you that this is the best thing you can do. So, because imagine, there is time, we understand time as humans in a very specific way. However, I do firmly believe that actually everything happens at the same time. I don't fully understand how it works, but this is how we also looking into future, because this already happened, right? So you can actually choose to do your lesson in a month, in a year, 5 years, 10 years, never. And let's go back to the next life, and then let's do it again. Not to mention the soul contracts. That's sometimes a good thing to have a past life regression on that, to meet in the life that the contract happened, and just say that it's time to walk separate ways and agree that this contract is no longer needed. That can be really freeing. So that's a possibility. But the amount of pain, toxicity I see, it does really, if someone is craving such a love, that really means there's much more to work on. Your journey is not ready. To be honest, after going through these two idiotic experiences, I'm really sorry. I have a very strong opinion on this, because I can see how unhealthy everything was, what I actually have done to myself. And from the person I am today, I will just walk away instantly. So yes, I gave up believing that even exists after these experiences. I was like, I don't believe it anymore. Also, I don't care anymore. And the funny thing is that when I met my husband, I immediately felt we were soulmates. He felt it also. We both felt very strong pull toward each other. We had quite a bit to work on at the beginning. But we are very happy together. Nobody's perfect. No relationship is perfect, but we are really, really happy together. We got married in September this year, so it's a beautiful time for us. I started getting, years into relationship, signs that he was my twin flame. I even did meditation on that. And in the meditation, I saw, to be honest, I don't think I did meditation specifically on that. I was just doing meditation, and that happened in the meditation. I remember walking down with my guide next to the sea. And then I stood, and then I saw me standing there and my husband standing there. And then behind us were like the shadows of our souls. And they were like huge souls, but the same level. They were both the same level. And then we stood like in front of each other and put our foreheads together in a sign of love, like a soul, like a love between souls. And then I heard, "You got what you wanted," which I understood. So I got it. I wanted it once upon a time, and I got it. But what I really got was a beautiful love that I've always dreamt of. But do I believe it has to be a twin flame to have a beautiful love? No, not at all. I do believe probably some kind of soulmate. If you are the person that craves this special connection, that you can feel there is something more, then you can have a beautiful soulmate. Doesn't have to be a twin flame. Do I care that I was showed that my husband was my twin flame? Not at all. Because it doesn't change anything for us. We are very happy. There's a huge love between us. But we still need to put work in. And that's the thing. So I when I think about, I told you that getting a twin flame actually means you need to let go. So probably what they mean is how I let go, which is completely stop believing and stop searching. But like I say, it doesn't matter. Like, even in that meditation, somebody told me, he's not your twin flame, he's your soulmate. Would I be in any way feel in any way sad about it? No. Because we need to remember that even though there is this beautiful astral plane, I've been recently very much into astral projections to work on it, so that's why I'm using this phrase. There are many planes, and as people who are spiritual, we know there's something more, and this life is just a tiny bit of a puzzle to every other life or the eternity. But we need to also remember that we decided to come live on Earth for a reason. Earth is the most material of the planes. And I don't know how I know it, I just feel it. So we should live. We should enjoy living a life. We should not fully lose connection to the earth. We should be grounded. I met a lot of spiritual people that they're forgetting about this part. And I really, really believe that the biggest mission that we have on this plane is to be happy. And of course we have missions. There's so much talk now about uplifting the planet, about more and more light workers waking up. I say light workers is a huge term that has every aspect of people working spiritually underneath. So, okay, I also work with people. I love helping people. But when I work with people, and I have, especially in the sessions for energy healing, when I go into people's emotions and I dig so deeply in their souls, I feel tired afterwards. I typically have a little bit of chocolate. We're laughing with my husband that I just met the Dementors, and I have to have some chocolate like from Harry Potter. And would I decide to just deplete myself completely to fit as many people as I can so I can uplift the planet? No, because there is a balance needed. You need to take care of yourself. You need to live a happy life first, and then spread your light. Because if there is nothing to spread, then what are you spreading? And of course, I'm talking like I'm on some high horse here. No, I have plenty of things I'm still working through. Plenty. And I'm actually now currently at a lesson of how to not deplete myself that much working energetically, especially that my ability is incredible empathy. It just, I sometimes cry with unspoken tears of people, and it can be really intensive. So I have my own lessons. Like everybody here has their own lessons. Nobody's perfect. No matter how many years you've been on this journey, there's always something you can work on. But we don't need perfection either. We just need to be happy and taken care of, and then to spread it and try to heal others or support others the way we want. Or, maybe your life mission is actually not in service. Everybody has their own different story. Every story has a meaning for this planet. So I wish everyone to find this beautiful love, or continue your beautiful love if you're already in one. To know you deserve. You don't have to settle. There's plenty of soulmates. Maybe there's a twin flame that you are destined to be with in this plane. Don't let yourself be mistreated. Don't chase. Just go into relationship that flow. But it doesn't mean no. It doesn't mean no issues or challenges. No, of course, work on yourself. Your partner has to work on themselves. but just respect yourself, love yourself, and choose partners only that reflect that. No matter the label, I believe everybody deserves this pure, beautiful love. And some people just have to love themselves a little bit more, to not let their time wasters and energy wasters into their field, people that will hurt them and lock their hearts even more. So this is what I want to finish this episode with. Wishing everyone lots of love, and if you already found your partner, cherish them. If you haven't yet, just remember to not settle, that you deserve beautiful love that feels great and to be treated very well. Thank you so much for listening, and hope to talk to you soon.